We're back. For this video, the idea I want to talk about, I know you can spend a lot of time practicing or like watching videos and stuff, but never actually get any better. And I know there's a few times where you learn that one thing and all of a sudden take like a big step forward compared to being pretty stagnant for the longest time. And I know one thing that I changed that really made a huge difference was to stop over EQing everything that I touched. Yeah, I made some chords. This is what they sound like. Pretty good. And then immediately what I would try and do is make room for some of the other sounds. Like I always hear mixing tips about you know, take out some highs, take out lows, and then all of a sudden, every EQ I ever made looked like this. And I would convince myself that that sounds good because it leaves space to add more stuff. If I wanted to add like a higher melody, a lead or something, it gives it more room so you'll be able to hear it. I didn't realize that by the time you get to the end, it ruins your sound. And we'll go to the whiteboard so I can explain this. You had something mid, some chord, something high like a lead. You had a low like a bass. And I would EQ everything, take out everything that was even somewhat high or somewhat low of every sound, and just squeeze them all together, just so they would stand out from each other. And I've seen lots of people do this. By the time you put them all together, you get something like this, where you have all these dips in between everything. You can hear every sound individually, but everything sounds empty and fucking terrible. And the reason is because you don't fill up the whole spectrum. And all these different elements, even like the bass with your lows, you want to hear some of those higher sounds, especially if you listen to something on like a shitty phone speaker or something. You need to be able to hear those highs, otherwise it'll just be non-existent in the mix. And the way to actually fix this isn't just to remove the EQ of everything. It all comes down to picking the right sounds. So the sound that you want to be the highs, you don't have to EQ all the mids and the lows out just to hear it in the mix with everything else. It always comes down to sound selection. And that's why if you pick the right sounds, it won't sound like dog shit. Okay, now let's make some dog shit. Yeah, the sound is like insanely boring and kind of sounds like a Christmas movie, so I'm gonna change that first. This one's kind of cool. I think I can do something with this. Oh, I didn't remove the EQ. That's why it sounds like shit. I was like, why does every sound I play sound like ass? It's because I put this fucking shitty EQ on it, but I'm too fucked and I forgot that it was there. Yeah, it sounds way better. And then just like I was saying, I don't want to EQ it. Like, it doesn't sound quite right, but I think if you just turn it down, and it's not the sound profile I like, but I like the texture that it has. So I'll keep that, find another sound, and just layer it with it, and keep that quiet in the background. I think it'll be good. I need something more longer, drawn out. Just copy that over. Still too loud. I just want a little bit of this. I like how these sound together, but I think I'll add the bass notes of the synth. It'll make it sound better. I still like that texture of the first one, just barely in the background. I think maybe even a little slower. And then carry this one over all the way to the end. Yeah, I like that. And then with this first synth too, I think I'll add more of a top line. This is a nice sound. That's good. I like that. Are we still, I think, I still want to fill some of that higher section. We're going to add another sound. Maybe one of these. Fondle some of these a bit. Oh, knock my beer over. Okay, give some of these a bit of a fondle and we'll make it sound a little less robotic. Yeah, something like that. I think we'll just add some delay on this one. Not coming back that first sound. Just that you almost don't even hear it anymore. You hear them all at once. And then you drop it out. You just barely hear it. We'll just add one more quick counter melody, and then we'll do some drums and add the bass. We gotta do a lead. I have to. I just can't help myself. A couple of these little tiny ones. And even just with that, you pick the right sounds, they all cut through. You can hear every sound individually, even the ones that I want to be quiet. Like without that, you still notice when that's not there. There's a lot going on, but it doesn't all clash together. And I didn't EQ anything. Obviously, you have to be able to pick good sounds. I think a lot of this comes from when you start out, you don't have good presets really to use. It takes a lot of EQing. It takes a lot of post effects to make them usable sounds. Once you get some more usable sounds, you don't really readjust and you try to overdo everything that you have. But I would still find I would go out of my way to ruin all of my own sounds. And it was crushing the whole final mix of anything I would make. I had to go get another beer. Okay, we're gonna add drums now. I like that. Let's move that over. I guess probably good for a loop, so then I'll just use that for the arrangement, and then anything else I want to throw in, I'll just add as sound clips after in the arrangement. That's what I've been doing recently. Okay, one more thing. We'll just do an EQ automation clip at the very end here. Just have to. Let's dip it way down, this little stereo guy. And then we'll max it all the way up just for the drop. Comment and let me know if this is ass or if it slaps. Or let me know if you try anything out that I mentioned here.